Baker, you think you're a diplomat? Stop wasting time, mister. Doyle's sneer cuts through Union Station's morning buzz, sharp as a blade. Leona Baker, 33, freezes behind the ticket counter, her hands gripping a traveler's map. She's just helped an Italian man find his platform, her fluent Italian calming his panic, but Doyle's words burn, a public slap. This is her life at Chicago's busiest station, a gifted linguist reduced to punching tickets. Her dreams crushed by a boss who sees her as nothing. She forces a smile, apologizing to the traveler, her voice steady despite the sting. Platform 12, sir. You'll make it. He nods, grateful, unaware of the storm she's weathering. Leona's eyes flicker with fire. She's faced Doyle's taunts before. Every idea she's pitched shot down. Last spring, her plan for multilingual signs was trashed, her skills dismissed. Yet she keeps going, for her sick sister, for the spark she won't let die. She helps the next customer, hands trembling, but her jaws set. Unbeknownst to her, the Italian man, Marco, a journalist, recorded it all. He's drafting a story to lift her voice to the world. Leona's hands tremble as she hands a ticket to a teenager, Doyle's words still searing. Anger and shame churn inside, but she keeps her voice calm for the next traveler. Doyle's done this before last year. Her multilingual sign idea was tossed. Weeks of work mocked as useless. She'd drawn on her time in Europe, translating for global deals. But here, she's nothing. Her sister's illness brought her back to Chicago, to bills and this dead-end job. Leona clenches her jaw, resisting the urge to snap at Doyle. She can't risk her job, not with hospital costs piling up. But her fire burns, a silent vow to prove him wrong. She glances at coworker Sarah, who shrugs, too scared to speak up. Leona's alone, but not broken. A mother with kids steps up, and Leona helps, her smile strained. Her mind races Doyle's a wall, blocking every chance. Last fall, she pitched language training for staff, a way to ease travelers' stress. Doyle scoffed, calling it fluff, her coworkers silent. Leona's chest tightens, her sister's fight fueling her own. She keeps her skills alive, practicing Italian at night, German on her commute, believing they'll matter. Marco, the Italian traveler, lingers on the platform, his phone holding her story, her poise, Doyle's venom. He's a journalist, and her strength has sparked a story. Leona doesn't see him, but his recording could change her world. Marco boards his train, replaying Leona's voice, steady under fire. Her fluent Italian, her grace, it's a story he needs to tell. He drafts an article, her talent a beacon. At the counter, Leona helps another traveler, her ache hidden behind a smile. The Italian man's thanks lingers, a spark against Doyle's scorn. She doesn't know Marco's recording exists, or that a coworker overheard Doyle muttering about dealing with her. Leona thinks of her sister, her promise to fight. Her eyes hold fire, unbroken. A chance is coming, she can feel it, and so can you. Leona's hands move on autopilot, stamping tickets as Doyle's insult replays in her mind. She's back to the grind at Union Station, the hum of travelers a dull roar. At 33, she's trapped in a job that feels like a cage, her talent for languages buried under stacks of schedules. Years ago, she was a star in Frankfurt, translating for a nonprofit, her words bridging cultures at packed conferences. She spoke German, Italian, Mandarin, her voice commanding rooms. But then her sister fell ill, and Leona left it all to come home to Chicago, to be there for hospital visits and endless bills. Now she's just a ticket seller, her dreams shoved aside. Every day, she feels the sting of what she's lost, the life she could have had. Doyle's sneer only makes it worse, a reminder that her skills mean nothing here. She glances at a coworker, Sarah, who gives a sympathetic nod but says nothing. Leona's jaw tightens. She's not giving up. Not yet. There's a fire in her, waiting for a chance to burn. Leona's shift drags on, each ticket stamped a reminder of her stalled life. She overhears a buzz among coworkers Union Station is hosting a big international event, a pitch to German and Chinese investors for a high-speed rail project. It's a chance for the station to shine, but Leona's kept out of the loop, just another face behind the counter. She catches a glimpse of a draft schedule, pinned up in the break room, and her heart skips. The multilingual signs for the event meant to guide investors are riddled with errors. German phrases are mangled, Mandarin terms misspelled. She knows she could fix them, make the station look sharp. Her mind flashes to Frankfurt, where she'd catch mistakes like these in seconds, earning nods from colleagues. Leona scribbles notes, her pen flying, fueled by a spark of purpose. She wants to speak up, to show she's more than Doyle's punching bag. But doubt creeps in. Will anyone listen? She tucks the notes in her pocket, her resolve hardening. This could be her shot, if she's brave enough to take it. Leona clutches her notes, heart pounding as she approaches the station's event planner. Miss Sommers, Carter, in the break room. She explains the errors in the multilingual signs, offering fixes that could impress the investors. Her voice is steady, but inside she's braced for rejection. Carter listens, brows raised, but before she can respond, Doyle barges in. Baker, what's this meddling in things above your pay grade? He snatches the notes, skimming them with a sneer. These signs are fine. You're not qualified for this. Leona's face burns, her words catching in her throat. She wants to argue, to list her years translating in Frankfurt, but Doyle's glare silences her. Carter shrugs, caught in the middle, and walks away. Leona's left standing, notes crumpled in her fist, the sting of dismissal sharp. She thinks of her sister, how she's fighting for them both, and resolves not to quit. Doyle may shut her down, but she's not invisible. Not yet. She slips the notes back in her pocket, her mind racing for another way. Leona's back at her counter, Doyle's rejection a fresh wound. She could let his words bury her, but that's not her fight. She remembers Frankfurt, late nights catching error, her translations earning trust. That Leona's still here, refusing to fade. After her shift, she opens her laptop, drafting an email to Carter with her sign fixes, her words sharp and urgent. She hesitates. Doyle could fire her for going over his head, but the investors' faces, lost in bad signs, push her to hit send. Her heart races. It's a risk, but she's done hiding. At home, she practices Mandarin, her voice steady in the quiet, keeping her dream alive. The event's closing in, and Leona's not waiting for permission. She's acting, even if it's a whisper against Doyle's roar. A spark lights. Carter might read her email, might see her worth. Leona's fight is on, and you feel it, her strength growing with every bold step. Leona's chance comes at shift's end, when she spots Carter alone by the staff lockers. She hands over the revised notes, her voice low but firm, explaining how the fixes could save the event. Carter hesitates, glancing around for Doyle, but takes the papers with a nod. I'll look at them, she says, and Leona feels a spark of hope. But the next morning, Doyle's waiting. He's heard about the notes, and his voice is ice. Baker, you don't learn. Do you? I said you're not qualified. Stay out of this, or you're done. Leona's stomach drops, but she holds his gaze, refusing to flinch. She thinks of her sister's courage, facing illness every day, and finds her own. She doesn't back down, even as Doyle storms off. Later, she overhears Carter on the phone, admitting the signs need work, but Doyle's orders stand. Leona's hope fades, but not her drive. She's planted a seed, even if it's small. Her skills are real, and she'll find a way to make them matter, no matter what Doyle says. Leona rides the bus home, earbuds in, German phrases grounding her. Doyle's dismissal stings, but it's her fuel now. She thinks of her sister, hospital bills piling, and vows to keep fighting. The event stays away, and the station signs are still wrong. Leona could step back, let Doyle fail, but she's a fixer, not a bystander. At home, she refines her notes, picturing clear, perfect signs guiding investors. Unseen, Marco's article lands in a German investor's inbox. Frau Miller, who reads about Leona's talent and pauses, intrigued. Leona knows none of this, only the fire in her chest, the need to prove she's more than a ticket seller. She's on the edge of something massive, a moment that could flip her world. You're with her, sensing the shift, knowing her voice is about to break through, louder than ever. Leona's wiping down the ticket counter when Sarah, her co-worker, rushes up, eyes wide. Leona, you're famous, she thrusts her phone forward, showing an article on an international news site. The headline, Chicago's Hidden Gem, the voice of Union Station. It's Marco's story, detailing how Leona helped him with fluent Italian, her grace under Doyle's attack. Leona's heart skips, her hands trembling as she reads. The words paint her as a hero, her talent a beacon in the station's chaos. She's stunned someone saw her, really saw her. Sarah's grinning, saying co-workers are sharing it like crazy. Leona feels a rush of pride, but doubt creeps in. What does this mean? Will it change anything? She thinks of her sister, how she'd laugh at famous Leona. For the first time in months, hope flickers, but she's wary. Fame doesn't pay bills, and Doyle's still her boss. She hands the phone back, her mind spinning. Something's shifting, and she's not sure she's ready for it. Leona's focused on her shift, dodging Doyle's glares, unaware her name's buzzing online. Sarah pulls her aside at lunch, eyes bright. Leona, your article's huge in Europe. Leona's skeptical, but her heart skips when Sarah says Frau Miller, a rail project investor, shared it. She remembers Marco's kind eyes. Did he plan this in Frankfurt? Her work once caught a diplomat's eye. Could this be her shot again? She helps a customer, her mind racing. Being seen feels foreign after Doyle's put-downs, but a spark grows. She's not invisible. Sarah whispers that planners are discussing her, and Leona's chest tightens with hope. Fear lingers. She's trusted chances before, only to fall. But this feels different. Miller's name carries weight, and Leona's ready to prove she's more than a story. You feel it, her world's tilting, and she's bracing for what's next. That afternoon, Leona's called to the manager's office. Her stomach drops. Doyle's there, his face sour. But it's not about her notes. A German investor, Frau Miller, read Marco's article and wants to meet Leona before the rail event. Doyle's forced to comply, his voice clipped as he says, "Don't screw this up, Baker." Leona's head spins. Muller, a big name in transport, knows her story. She nods, hiding her nerves, and heads back to her counter. Alone, she lets herself dream Muller could be her way out, a chance to use her skills. She thinks of her sister, how she'd cheer her on. But doubt gnaws. What if she fails? What if Doyle sabotages her? She pushes it down, focusing on the meeting. She's faced worse than Doyle's sneers. This is her shot, the one she's been waiting for. She straightens, her resolve hardening. Miller's coming, and Leona's ready to show what she's made of, no matter what stands in her way. Leona spends her break prepping, whispering German phrases to herself, her old confidence stirring. She's nervous but alive, like she's waking up after years of sleep. Doyle's warning echoes, but she won't let him steal this. The article's changed something. People are watching now, and she feels their eyes, not with judgment, but with expectation. Sarah slips her a thumbs up, saying Miller's team called Leona essential. Leona's heart races. What does Miller want? A translator? A consultant? She doesn't know, but she's ready to fight for it. She thinks of Marco, how his words gave her this chance, and wishes she could thank him. Back at the counter, she helps a customer, her voice stronger, her smile real. Doyle's still lurking, but he's not the story anymore. Leona is. You can feel it. This meeting with Miller is no small thing. It's a door cracking open, and Leona's about to step through, her voice ready to echo louder than ever before. Leona steps into the meeting room, her pulse racing. Frau Miller, sharp-eyed and poised, sits at the head, flanked by event planners. Doyle hovers nearby, his forced smile thin. Miller wastes no time, sliding a dense Quanthoi document across the table. Mrs. Baker, translate this. Melwana 181. Leona's breath catches. It's a technical brief for the rail project, full of jargon. She hesitates, feeling Doyle's glare, but then her training kicks in. She starts reading, her voice steady, translating each line into flawless English. Her mind sharpens, every word precise, as if she's been waiting for this moment. She thinks of her sister, how she'd urge her to seize this chance. The room is silent, all eyes on her. Leona pushes through, ignoring Doyle's fidgeting. She's not just a ticket seller now, she's the woman who can bridge worlds. As she finishes, Miller nods, her face unreadable. Leona's heart pounds, unsure if she's passed the test, but she knows she gave it everything. Miller leans forward, her voice crisp. Impressive. Baker, there you are. Flawless. Leona's chest swells, a mix of relief and pride. She remembers Beijing, 3 years spent translating for education summits, her voice guiding heated debates. Those days feel alive again, fueling her confidence. She glances at Doyle, who's shifting uncomfortably, his attempt to interject ignored. Miller continues, asking Leona to clarify a term in German, then Italian. Leona answers effortlessly, her words flowing like they did in Frankfurt. The planners scribble notes, clearly impressed. She feels a spark, the old Leona waking up, the one who thrived under pressure. But doubt lingers. What does Miller want? A one-off task, or something bigger? Leona thinks of her sister's hospital bills, the weight of her stalled life. This moment could change everything if she doesn't falter. She straightens, ready for whatever comes next. Her eyes locked on Muller. The room feels electric, like the air before a storm. Muller sets the document aside, her gaze piercing. Mary's. Baker, our rail project needs someone like you, a linguistic advisor. Start next week. Leona freezes, the words sinking in. Advisor. It's a role she never dreamed of, a chance to escape the ticket counter, to use her skills for something massive. Muller explains the job means guiding international teams, ensuring every word lands right. Leona's mind races new city, new life, a way to support her sister without scraping by. She nods, so barely breathing, as Miller outlines the stakes, billions in deals. Global eyes on Chicago. Doyle tries to butt in, praising the station's team effort, but Miller cuts him off, her focus on Leona. The dismissal stings Doyle, and Leona feels a quiet thrill. She's not invisible anymore. But fear creeps in. Can she handle this? She thinks of Beijing, how she thrived in chaos. She's ready, even if her hands tremble. This is her door, wide open, and she's stepping through. Leona leaves the meeting, Miller's offer a lifeline. She thinks of Beijing, the rush of nailing translations. Now hers again. Doyle's scowl in the hall doesn't faze her. He's fading, she's rising. At the counter, she helps a traveler, her voice bright, her smile real. Sarah whispers, "You're unstoppable," and Leona nods, still reeling. She wishes she could thank Marco for sparking this. Unseen, Mr. Zhang, a Chinese investor, asks Muller about her, intrigued by her poise. The event's coming, and Leona's no shadow, she's its voice. Her sister's courage echoes sees this. Leona's ready, her fear now fuel. This isn't just a job, it's her reclaiming her life. You're gripped, knowing her next move will shake things up, her story soaring higher. Leona's reviewing event notes when she spots it a draft of Doyle's German speech for the rail project. Her stomach drops. The phrasing is off, littered with cultural missteps that could offend the investors. She flashes back to Frankfurt, catching similar errors before they tank deals. This is worse. One wrong word could derail the project. Her heart races. She has to act. She finds Miller in a prep meeting, Doyle by her side, smirking. Leona hesitates, knowing he'll lash out, but speaks up, voice firm. The speech has errors. It could insult the Germans. Doyle scoffs, but Miller's eyes narrow, demanding details. Leona points out the flaws, her words sharp, precise. Miller listens, then hands her the draft. Fix it. Now. Leona's hands shake, the weight of the moment crushing. She thinks of her sister, how she'd tell her to fight. This is her chance to shine, but the stakes are brutal. She nods, grabbing a pen, ready to prove she's more than Doyle's shadow. In the meeting room, Leona rewrites the speech, her pen flying. She cuts awkward phrases, weaves in respectful German terms, her mind sharp from years in high-stakes translations. Miller watches, planners leaning in, while Doyle fumes silently. Leona's heart pounds, she's exposed, no room for mistakes. She remembers Beijing, standing before scholars, her translations shaping outcomes. That strength surges back. She finishes, handing the draft to Miller, who scans it and nods. Present it, Miller says. Leona freezes speak in front of everyone. Doyle's glare burns, but she steps forward, voice steady. She delivers the speech in perfect German, each word landing with clarity. The room's silent, then planners clap, impressed. Leona's chest swells, pride mixing with fear. She's done it. But what now? Muller's face is unreadable, and Doyle's barely containing his rage. Leona stands tall, knowing she shifted the game, her voice no longer just a whisper. The applause fade, but Leona's pulse still races. Muller praises her work, calling the speech exceptional. Doyle tries to claim credit, mumbling about team effort, but Muller ignores him, focused on Leona. She feels alive, like she's reclaimed a piece of herself. Then a new voice cuts in. Three, it's Cicerin and a word, mister. Zhang, a Chinese investor, steps forward, peering at her. You're the translator from Beijing, aren't you? Education Summit, 2018. Leona's stunned, memories flooding back long nights, heated debates, her voice guiding talks. She nods, barely breathing. Zhang smiles, saying her work left an impression. He's here for the rail project, and now he wants her on his team. Leona's mind reels a new offer, bigger than Miller's. She thinks of her sister, how this could change their lives. But the pressure hits hard, two massive opportunities, and Doyle's still in her way. She's at a crossroads, her heart torn between fear and fire. Zhang explains his offer a long-term role with his firm, advising on global projects. Leona's head spins. It's a dream, but terrifying. She's never felt so seen, yet so exposed. Muller nods approvingly, saying, "You've earned this." Leona's eyes sting, pride swelling. She thinks of Beijing again, how she thrived in chaos and knows she can do this. But Doyle's presence looms, his silence venomous. She feels his resentment, knows he'll try to sabotage her. Still, she stands firm, her voice stronger than ever. She thanks Zhang and Muller, promising to consider both offers. The room feels charged, like she's on the edge of a cliff. She thinks of her sister's courage, facing illness daily, and draws from it. Leona's not just a ticket seller, she's a force, and they all see it now. The event's tomorrow, and she's at its heart, her talent undeniable. You can feel the shift, something bigger's coming, and Leona's ready to meet it. Leona exits the meeting, Zhang's offer and Muller's trust swirling in her mind. She's not Doyle's pawn anymore, she's a force. In the hall night, his glare meets her steady gaze. She doesn't flinch. At the counter, she preps event notes, her hands steady, organizing translations for tomorrow. Sarah grins. You're killing it, Leona laughs. Fear now her fuel. She remembers Beijing, thriving in chaos, and knows she's ready. Doyle's plotting. She overhears him on a call, pushing to limit her role, but she's steps ahead. Her sister's voice rings, "You've got this." Leona's shaping the event, her value undeniable. Zhang's twist feels like fate, but her strength brought her here. You're on edge, tomorrow's big, and Leona's driving it, her fire blazing. Leona rides home, German phrases in her ears, replaying her speech. Zhang's offer. It's a new world, one she's built. Her sister's fight, their shared struggle, could ease with these chances. Doyle's scheming. She caught his call about reining her in, but Leona's not scared. She's outplayed him before. Tomorrow's event is hers to lead, her voice its heart. Zhang's nod to Beijing feels like a bridge, past to present, pushing her on. She hasn't chosen Muller or Zhang, but hiding's over. Her notes are ready, her resolve iron. You feel it, Leona's not done. Her story's peaking, her voice echoing, and the event will show the world what she's made of. You're hooked for what's next. Leona's first day as a trial linguistic advisor feels like a tightrope walk. Muller assigns her to draft welcome remarks for the rail event's international guests. Leona dives in, crafting phrases in German, Mandarin, and Italian, her fingers flying over the keyboard. She's nervous, hyper-aware of Doyle's shadow looming nearby, his eyes tracking her every move. But she channels her Beijing days when she translated under pressure, and her work is sharp, flawless. Muller reviews it, nodding with approval, and Leona's chest swells with quiet pride. She thinks of her sister, how she'd cheer this small victory. Doyle tries to nitpick, pointing out a minor formatting issue, but Miller brushes him off, praising Leona's precision. The dismissal stings Doyle, and Leona feels a spark of triumph. She's proving herself step by step in a world that once ignored her. The trial's just begun, but Leona's already showing she's built for this, her voice finding its place in the chaos. 2 weeks into the trial, Leona's a whirlwind. She translates contracts, briefs investors, and smooths cultural hiccups. Her language is weaving trust among the German and Chinese teams. Miller watches closely, impressed by her instincts. Leona's exhausted but alive, her old self the one who thrived in Frankfurt fully awake. She thinks of her sister's hospital room, how these late nights might mean a better future. Doyle, meanwhile, falters. His reports are sloppy, his attitude sour, and investors sideline him, turning to Leona instead. At a strategy meeting, Mueller publicly thanks her, saying, Messena, Baker's work is indispensable. Doyle's face reddens, his grip on power slipping. Leona feels the shift, a mix of thrill and disbelief. She's not just surviving, she's outshining him. The trial's almost over, and she knows she's earned more than a chance. She's rewriting her story, proving her worth to everyone, especially herself, with every word she speaks. The trial ends and Miller calls Leona to a private meeting. You're our new advisor for international relations, she says, voice firm. Leona's heart leaps. The role means leading global talks, shaping the rail project's future. Miller adds, Doyle's being reassigned. Administrative work. You'll take his place. Leona's stunned, the weight of it sinking in. She's not just free of Doyle, she's surpassed him. She nods, thanking Miller, her voice steady despite the storm inside. She thinks of her sister, how she'd laugh at Doyle's fall. Later, she hears Doyle's been moved to a back office, his influence gone. Leona feels no pity. His cruelty built her fire. She walks through the station, head high, no longer a ticket seller but a leader. The investors now seek her out, her name on their lips. It's real, and it's hers. She's claimed her place, her voice no longer silenced but soaring, a force no one can ignore. Leona sits in her new office, reflecting on her rise from Doyle's taunts to shaping global deals. She thinks of Marco's article, her sister's strength, now her own. The station's a stage, not a trap, her voice its guide. Passing Doyle's empty desk, she feels closure. He's no threat. Sarah visits, saying, You're a game changer. Leona smiles. True. An idea sparks a staff language program, her next fight to lift others. The rail project hums and she's central, her skills steering it. Beijing, Frankfurt, Chicago, she's all of them now. You sense it. Leona's triumph is just the start, her impact growing, ready to spark more change. Leona's new role as advisor for international relations keeps her busy, but she's not done changing things. She sees the station's staff, janitors, ticket sellers, porters struggling with international travelers, just as she once did. She pitches a bold idea to Mueller, a free language training program for all employees, teaching basic German, Mandarin, Spanish. It's the multilingual dream she pushed years ago, now with the power to make it real. Miller greenlights it, impressed by Leona's vision. Leona feels a surge of purpose, thinking of her sister, how she'd love this fight for others. She designs the program herself, drawing on her Frankfurt days, when she trained interns to navigate global talks. Doyle's gone, his shadow faded, but Leona's not focused on him. She's building something bigger, a way to lift everyone, not just herself. The first class is set, and Leona's ready to lead, her voice stronger than ever, carrying a mission that could reshape the station. Leona stands before the first language class, a mix of skeptical guards and eager clerks, Sarah among them. She shares her story, Doyle's insults, her years abroad, how languages open doors. Her voice is warm, inspiring, urging them to see their own potential. She teaches simple Mandarin greetings, German phrases for directions, her methods clear from years in Beijing. The room buzzes, employees practicing, laughing at fumbled words. Sarah nails a Spanish phrase, beaming. Leona's heart swells. She's not just teaching, she's igniting change. She thinks of her sister's courage, how it fuels her own. By week's end, guards are greeting tourists in German, ticket sellers chatting in Mandarin. Leona sees the station transform, travelers smiling, staff standing taller. Her program's a hit, and Mueller praises it as a model for other stations. Leona's not just an advisor, now she's a leader, proving one voice can lift many if it dares to speak. Months later, Leona's program is a game changer. Dozens of employees, from cleaners to cashiers, gain skills, some earning promotions. Sarah lands a supervisor role, her Spanish now a daily tool. The station's culture shifts, managers prioritize growth, not just quotas. Travelers notice, praising the staff's warmth, making Union Station a standout. Leona walks the platforms, hearing snippets of Mandarin, German, Spanish, and feels a quiet pride. She thinks of Marco, how his article set this in motion, and her sister, who'd be proud of this legacy. The old Leona, crushed by Doyle's sneers, is gone. She's built something lasting, not for glory, but because she knows what it's like to be unseen. Mueller calls her program revolutionary, and other stations start copying it. Leona's name carries weight now, her impact rippling beyond Chicago. She's not done, though her fire's still burning, pushing her to do more. Leona's in her office, her journey a beacon. From ticket counter to leader, she's turned pain into power, thanks to Marco's spark and her sister's fight. The station thrives, staff confident, travelers welcome. She checks her class, Sarah mentoring, a movement alive. Leona's heart swells, her legacy's theirs, not just hers. An email pings a European summit wants her expertise. She grins, her sister's voice urging her on. The rail project soars, her role key. This isn't just victory, it's a shift. Leona's silence became a chorus, her story inspiring all who hear it. You're gripped, sensing she's poised for more, her fire unstoppable. Leona's at her desk, finalizing a rail project report when an email pings. It's an offer from a European transport firm, inviting her to advise on a massive infrastructure deal. The words hit like a spark: new city, new challenges, a chance to wield her languages on a global stage. She thinks of her sister, now stable, urging her to chase this. Leona's heart races. She's built so much at Union Station, but this feels like the next step. She remembers Beijing, Frankfurt, how those years shaped her, and knows she's ready. The station's thriving, her language program a cornerstone, but the world's calling again. She replies, accepting the role, her fingers trembling with excitement. Sarah catches her grinning, teasing, off to conquer Europe. Leona laughs, feeling lighter than ever. She's not leaving her impact behind, she's carrying it forward. This isn't an end, but a beginning. Her voice poised to echo even louder. Leona walks through Union Station, her last day before Europe. The air hums with travelers. But it's different now. Staff greet guests in German, Spanish, Mandarin, her program's legacy alive. Sarah, now a supervisor, leads a training session, her confidence a testament to Leona's work. Leona smiles, thinking of the guards and clerks who've risen, their skills opening doors. She's proud, not just of herself, but of them. She thinks of Marco, whose article started it all, and her sister, whose fight kept her grounded. The station's no longer a cage, it's a beacon, a place where voices like hers can shine. Miller stops her, saying the program's expanding to other cities, Leona's name tied to its success. She feels a pang, leaving this behind, but knows it'll endure. Her impact's rooted, her story a spark for others. She's ready for Europe, her fire burning brighter, her heart full of what she's built and what's to come. Leona packs her sister's photo in her bag. The European offer feels fated, a chance to reclaim her old dreams. Doyle's sneers fueled her. Marco's words lifted her. Her station staff empowered. Travelers welcomed as her proof one voice can change everything. She visits class, Sarah teaching fiercely, vowing, we'll keep it alive. Leona's eyes shine, this legacy endures. She thinks of her sister, you did it. The rail project's set, her mark permanent. Europe's her next stage, but Chicago's her core. She's a changer, silence to strength. You feel it, Leona's reach is growing. Her story a spark for all. Leona stands at the platform, suitcase in hand. The train to the airport ready? She looks at Union Station. Its bustle now a symphony of voices she helped free. Her program thrives, Sarah and others carrying it forward. The station a model for the world. She thinks of her sister, her anchor, and Marco, her spark. Europe's next, a new challenge, but she's no stranger to starting over. Her languages, her fire, her story, they're hers to wield. She boards the train, heart steady, eyes bright. This is Leona Baker, the woman who spoke when no one listened, who built a legacy from nothing. Her voice changed a station, a city, and now it's headed for the world. You're with her, feeling the rush, knowing she's unstoppable. And as the train pulls away, a voice rings out, clear and true. Every voice, no matter how small, can change the world if it's heard. Leona's done it, and you can't wait to see what's next. You've just heard Leona's story, a woman who turned silence into a roar, proving every voice can change the world. That's the spirit we bring to Unveiled Wealth, your channel for unlocking potential and building a life of impact. At Unveiled Wealth, we share stories, strategies, and secrets to help you break free, just like Leona, and create wealth in every sense, financial, personal, and beyond. But we need you to make it happen. Subscribe to Unveiled Wealth today, join our community, and let's uncover the tools to transform your future. Hit that button, share with friends, and support us to keep these stories coming. Every click, every share is your voice saying you're ready for more. Leona didn't wait for permission, she acted. Now it's your turn. Join Unveiled Wealth, and let's build something unstoppable together. Your journey starts now, and we can't wait to see where it takes you.